Hello, everybody. How are you doing on today? This is Unscripted Conversations with Dr. T, where we have raw, real, random, trending, and transparent conversations. This is not your regular show with Dr. T, because sometimes I'm giving you the tea, sometimes I'm giving you perspective on different things on how I feel that may not necessarily be how you feel, but we're going to have this conversation. And also it's different things that I may see trending on social media and all that good stuff like that. Our philosophy here, or our mantra, is we may agree to disagree, but we will keep it respectful. So if you are tuning in, which I know that you are, I want you guys to type in the chat where you're tuning in from so that we can give you a shout out sometime during this broadcast. I also want to let you know that this broadcast is streaming. Yes, streaming on and powered by CTR Media Network. Woo! Okay, on that note, we're gonna have this conversation here. But before we do that, let me just give a round of applause for the virtual studio audience. Thank you for everyone who have been tuning in to the Tina Ramsey Show. This is not the Tina Ramsey Show. So if you're looking for the Tina Ramsey Show with all of our amazing entrepreneurs and businesses and food for thought, and it's so positive all the time, then hop on over to CTR Media Network and click the Tina Ramsey Show, or just check us out on any social media platforms. This is a little bit laid back, not a little bit, a whole lot laid back. And I'm bringing this back by popular demand because so many people, it's been doing very, very good with the series that we had created last year with Unscripted Conversation with Dr. T. So it's just random thoughts, things that's on my mind, or what's going on in the world. So let's go ahead and have this conversation. This is an engaging conversation. So if you have a question or like to interject your thoughts, then please do so. We're going to have a conversation right now about this here tap and pay. Okay. Because we see tap and pay everywhere. We see it everywhere. So the reason why we're having this conversation is because I saw a news clip about this tap and pay, and basically possibly some of the hidden dangers that can happen with tap and pay. I know that I personally have used tap and pay in the past. I don't really care for tap and pay. I'm mostly insert my chip into the machine, but of course my husband, he will tap and go in a minute, honey. And so let's talk a little bit about this, because many of you may not know what's really going on in regards to the tap and pay, even down to swiping your cards. So yes, some people still swipe. It's still a thing, especially if your chip is not working. So with all of this new technology evolving and growing each and every day, it creates how can I say it? It create uneasiness to the way that we do things, but it also can create or have created a whole different monster of things that can come associate with something that is not that is so new. That is so new. So pretty much it can give the criminals a way of running rapid in regards to the lack of knowledge with modern technology. And so it's tap and pay, concealing hidden dangers. You need to be checking your wallet. You need to be checking your purse because you need to be aware of this. I'm actually going to play a small clip that made me kind of think about it because I remember I saw unusual transaction on my statement, and I could not track that transaction for anything. And so I knew that I still had my credit card. I knew that I still had my debit card in my purse, in my wallet. And I was like, where does this transaction come from? I mean, it's not only a new transaction, but this transaction is actually in a completely different state. I'm talking about thousands and thousands and thousands of miles away in a place that I have never been. So how is this possible? And then also I have experience being in the same area, but I did not make that transaction. So right now I'm gonna play this short video, and down in the comments, I'm actually gonna have a more longer version of this video because I feel that we need to be aware of this because regardless if you decide to use tap and pay or not, everyone's debit cards, credit cards now come with the chip on it. You know, when they first came out, we could make the choice whether or not we use the chip. We changed our cards over to the chip, but now it's not a choice. Hello, Dr. Connie. So you guys make sure to tune in to Wisdom Tips Thursdays at 7 p.m. EST on all podcasting platforms, as well as CTR Media Network. She has a great show where she actually is sharing wisdom with you from her life experience, as well as things that she knows. And I get a lot of good food for thought, different things I need the person work on from that great show. So if you need a mindset shift, go on over to Wisdom Tips with Dr. Connie Green. And she also has some books by going to drconniegreen.com. Check her out. So let's get back to the conversation about this tap and pay, honey. This tap and pay. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play this clip and then we're going to have a conversation about it in regards to how do you feel, because everybody should at least have something in their wallet dealing with tap and pay. Yeah, it's good to see you too. This is another series. This is a different series from the Tina Ramon Show, but this is totally different. It is Unscripted Conversations with Dr. T, where it is more laid back. It's more raw, real, random, trending, and transparent conversations about different things that I personally feel about or things that's going on in the world. Oh, she said, thanks much. Love you too. Oh, love you. Love you. Okay, so we're going to play this video right quick, and then I'll be back with you in a moment, okay?
Check this out. This is insane.
I hadn't tapped it. I hadn't inserted it. I hadn't swiped it. And then all of a sudden, out comes the receipt. And I said, how did this get paid for?
The cashier couldn't explain it.
She stood there literally just sort of blank. I really thought that the guy ahead of me, that he had been charged. I said, somebody paid for this on a credit card somewhere.
Turns out the tap-to-pay card reader at Safeway had ignored the debit card in Edgar's hand. Instead, it reached into Edgar's back pocket,
threw
his wallet, and charged his Bank of America credit card tucked inside.
That's a pretty big reach. I mean, around me or through me to my wallet. Why didn't it grab the card that was near it? How did it decide what to grab?
I was shocked. I was like, well, it can't be.
Sonia Cesare says it happened at a doctor's office.
I went to pay, and they said, you're already paid. And I said, I haven't inserted my card. I haven't even taken it out of my wallet.
Turns out the card reader there had sent radio waves into her purse and charged her credit card without her knowing it. And that wasn't all. Sonia got an even bigger surprise at a little shop.
The woman said, oh my, it's just read 3 cards.
The store's tap-to-pay system charged not only one, but 3 credit cards tucked in a wallet inside her purse.
I'd say I was 2 feet away at that point, for sure.
All
Wow,
charges
man.
were reversed.
All right. So you see what's happening? It's something with dealing with the tap and pay, which is a little bit different from when you swipe it, because years ago we was worried about or concerned about when you swipe your card and maybe at a gas pump or something, and then someone can come behind you and actually read off your information if they put some kind of device on it where they would glean your information and then charge. Okay, so now we're dealing with this new situation where when you're using tap and pay, it's some type of radio function inside of the chip that the computer can pick it up and charge your account without you actually tapping. Because like you just saw, the man had said that literally when he was getting ready to pay for his order, it was already paid for, but it wasn't paid for with the card that he had in his hand. The reader, which is these radio waves that's inside of these new chips now, actually read his other card that was in his back pocket inside his wallet and scanned that, and that was paid for the card. I mean, listen, people, this is something. Then you heard the married couple. They was at the doctor's office, or the other guy was at the doctor's office and went to go pay. You have to pay that good old copay, even though you have medical coverage. I still don't get that. You have medical coverage, and then you still have to pay a copay. I mean, really, why are we paying for insurance? But that's a whole different conversation for a whole different unscripted conversation with Dr. T on how I feel about that little situation. But just imagine you going to pay your copay or going to pay for your prescription, and you pull out your card to pay, and then you look and they say it's already paid for, and you're trying to figure out how, and then you got these random charges on your card. The married couple actually said how they actually got charged 3 times when they was at a different place, so on for the same exact thing. So they made one purchase that they got charged 3 times on 3 different cards, and all of them had that chip in it. Okay, so what is going on with these chips, and how can we as a consumer protect ourselves from basically something that we cannot see? You cannot see with the human eye, radio waves, chips, and the connectability of the chip with the software that we use to pay for our items. We can't see that. So how can we protect ourselves? Okay, so let's see what our virtual studio audience is saying. Oh, Dr. Connie Green said, OMG. Yes, that's why I'm talking about it. Because I'm like, oh, this is something. So, number one, we need to make sure that we are actually starting to read. I know in the past, I used to read my bank statements and credit card statements with a fine-tooth comb. But especially back in the day when you had to balance your check budget. But now, since we don't have to do all of that, we get a little lazy. And so one thing that we can do to combat that is that we can really start paying attention to all the transactions. And even because sometimes it takes 15 to 30 days before you even get your new invoice or whatever. So what you can do is call the credit card company or your bank to listen to your transactions for that day. Because normally banks and even your credit card providers, they have an automatic thing that you can call and you can listen to your transactions from that day. And so if you hear something that is a little strange or is double or duplicated or whatever the case may be, you can go ahead and call that provider and try your best to get that remedy. Yes, this is very, very crazy. When I heard about it, I was like, oh, this is not a Tina Ramsey show. This is an unscripted conversation with Dr. T, because listen, I say what I want to say on this one, because this is raw, real, random, trending, and transparent conversations. I mean, it's usually something that we're dealing with, and some things I may talk about you may disagree with, or you may agree with it. But one thing that we do here, we keep it respectful regardless. Everyone's these conversations, you can type whatever you want to say in the chat, as long as respectful. I mean, and then we will have this conversation. So I was doing some research, and so one of the things, other than calling your credit card provider and your bank, your institution for your bank or whatever like that, whether it's a credit union or a regular bank, you can actually buy these wallets. They have wallets out now, men and women wallets that actually block that radio connection. So as long as the wallet is closed, then it will block that signal. So let me I actually dropped it down in the comment section where you can actually see how one looks. Okay. And I purchased one myself. They're not expensive. The one that I purchased was like less than $20. I think it was like $10. Of course, it's different variations, different types, and stuff like that, based upon how big and how much you want, how you want to look and stuff, and what name and model and all that other stuff. You'll pay more. But what I did is, in the comments below, I actually dropped the link to the wallet that actually blocks it. So what I want you to do is to take this information, and now that you actually know how it looks, you can copy and paste the I think they call it the RIFIC block. It blocks it, right? And so you can go ahead and do that. And then you can go ahead and find you one that you like for yourself and go ahead and purchase that today. So as long as your wallet is closed, isn't that something? It says as long as your wallet is closed. They say that specifically in the details. As long as your wallet is closed, then you won't be victim of the tap and pay, double paying, or taking out multiple charges on your card, or even a card that you're not even using, as long as it's closed. But if it's open, it's exposed to that signal. In regards to the previous thing we should have to worry about, which was that I think they call it stemming or whatever, where you could put your card inside of the pump, and then they will actually glean that information that way. We thought that was the worst. Now this new thing where it's attacking you in the waves. I mean, like, really? There is no possible way, because we have been educated on sometimes these credit card readers will have certain mechanisms or certain looks or certain different things going on where we can tell that it has been manipulated, so we wouldn't use it, or you can easily move it. They gave us different little things. But with this, how can you come back invisible radio waves? Man, we have to stay prayed up. But anyway, in the comment section below, I actually have the link to Amazon where you guys can actually get it. FYI, it is an affiliate link. So when you click the link, we get a small kickback on whatever you purchase. So I think it's like 1% or whatever, which is nothing. It's like a couple pennies, but I mean, all pennies add up. But I want to be transparent with that. In regards to the article, I dropped a longer edition of that news clip that I showed you just now, so you can watch for yourself, and then you can take that and do your own independent research on it. And then I also dropped a financebuzz.com, where it's an article that talks a little bit more about this tap and pay from a different perspective. Now, I'm not telling you not to use tap and pay, but what I am telling you is to be mindful of the different things that's happening. And we have to be mindful of the dangers as well as the good things about it. Okay, yes, it makes life easy. You can just boop, tap and go. But with that tap and go, what exactly is happening? So I encourage all of you to do your due diligence when you are using tap and pay or any form of plastic plastic, whether it's credit card, whether it is a debit card. Make sure to do your due diligence with making sure that you call your institution, whether it's a bank or a credit union, to see what transaction has transpired within that 24 hours. If you was out and about in different places and you used your card, whether you tapped and pay or not, make sure that you call and see what transactions are on there from that day. And if it doesn't match up to what you did for that day, I know sometimes being married, you have a joint account. And so you need to make sure you check with whomever is all on that account. But if you know it's only you, and you know you only did XYZ, and you only had 3 things that you purchased, and you see 4 or 10 things, and you know that your credit card or your debit card has been compromised. So you definitely need to contact your financial institution on what is your next steps, because now you have to put out a claim and all this other stuff, and they may possibly want to issue you a new card. But I did want to bring this to you guys' attention because it is so popular. And being an entrepreneur myself, you can go to these vending events and all of that. And we're starting to use tap and pay when we're out and about for events, because it's more convenient for the customer, and it's also more convenient for the business owner as well, because literally you can turn your telephone, well, not telephone, your cell phone into a POS system. And if you don't know what POS is, that is point of sale operating machine. It's basically a handheld register. Okay. The only thing is different is that you're not handling physical currency, meaning money in your hand. You are handling digital currency, which is coming through the credit card or the debit card. And that can be whatever place that you use, whether it's Cash App, whether it's a bank, whether it's an institution, whether it's a credit card place, whether it's Venmo, whether it's Zelle, whatever. If it's using any type of plastic, then you need to be mindful of this the next time you go out and about, especially with all the different holidays and different things that's going on. We have to stay in the know of what's going on. So, is tap and pay concealing hidden dangers? The answer is yes. But are there things that you can actually do to help prevent or be more mindful of what's going on? Yes, it is. You can make sure that you keep a lock on what you're spending, and also have open communication with anyone and anybody that is on your account, whether it's business or personal. You need to also make sure you do everything that you need to do in order to protect your credit cards or debit cards or whatever the case may be by purchasing one of those wallets that I have in the chat right now, so they can block that radio signal. But make sure that you keep it closed, because FYI, if you don't keep it closed, it still can get through. I mean, isn't that something? Oh, we have someone out in the audience. We have Linda Joseph. Make sure to go check out her show as well. She had an amazing guest that told her story. And it was so moving. So make sure to go back. It's on her timeline. Just search Linda Joseph and you'll be able to see her show and listen to her show. That lady really went through an amazing breakthrough. It was a very powerful episode. So make sure to check it out. Check it out. Watch the replay, and don't just watch it, people. Come on now, share it out. Sharing is free. Okay, love you too, Linda. Keep up the good work. And so these are just some things that I want to share with you, because when I saw this, I was like, what the what's going on here? So the next time you swipe that card, the next time you tap and pay at a restaurant or wherever you are, make sure to check behind yourself, because literally when the man said that literally the card that he was using, that he was going to tap to pay at the Safeway, it did not take that. That tap and pay actually took a card that was in his wallet, in his back pocket. You can see the gravity of how far these waves travel. Okay, so we're fighting against some things that we can't see. We are literally fighting against things that we cannot see. But one thing about God is that He always let us know so that we can prepare, so that we can secure what we're doing to the best of our ability. So be mindful of all of that. Check your statements, call your institutions to make sure that everything is correct. Make sure to go purchase you that wallet so that it will be so that you can be able to protect yourself from unnecessary charges. And just keep your eyes, like my grandma, well, not my grandma, my uncle used to say, keep your head on the swivel. Or you could take that however you want it, but that's what he used to say. He was a he was something else, but I love him to pieces, you know. But anyway, you guys make sure to check that out. This is not something to cause you to have panic. This is not something for you to be in fear of. This is something to have this conversation so that you could be better equipped to be able to handle this if this ever happens to you, or if you're in the midst of someone else and they say, oh, this happened to me. We can share this knowledge and share this information so that we will not have unnecessary victims of this new crime that is going on in regards to the swiping. In regards to the tap and pay, it's just, I don't want to say a malfunction, but that's really the only thing that I can think to kind of describe it, because it's doing what it want to do in some instances. So again, this is something that we just need to be mindful of. So everyone, this has been Unscripted Conversations with Dr. T, where we have raw, real, random, trending, and transparent conversations. And my motto is, we may agree to disagree, but we will keep it respectful. So let's talk about it. Make sure to check out the Tina Ramsey Show, as well as all the other amazing podcasters, because this show, as well as the Tina Ramsey Show, is powered by CTR Media Network. We also have shows on Roku television that you can watch. Some of our content creators are actually on Roku. And then we have another part of our network where people are actually on the online 24/7 television. So some people have channels where you can binge watch their channels, and then you can click CTR Media Network and you can see a combination of all of the different shows. And if you want to watch any of their shows in entirety, you can watch them on, you can listen to them on CTR Media Network, watch some of them on the online TV or Roku. And we encourage all of you to check out our CTR Media Network YouTube channel, because there we have a entire list of all of our amazing podcasters, and we encourage you to go and subscribe to each podcaster's YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Make sure to leave them a little comment, especially if something resonates with you. Let them know, and share it out as well. We do not want you just to subscribe to CTR Media Network. We want you to also independently subscribe and follow all the podcasters on their individual platforms as well. You can watch them here, but you can watch them there as well, so that you can always be in the know when they upload, when they have anything going on, because we are truly blessed to have some of the most amazing podcasters and content creators on the planet. They are really on a mission to make a positive impact. And sometime in the midst of making a positive impact, the stories that they share are raw. The stories, the experiences that they share may not always be picture perfect, but they share that in order for you to be able to see how they was able to overcome whatever it is that they went through, so that you can walk into your purpose by getting the motivation from them in order to become your true self. At the end of the day, that is what we do. We create impactful content over here. And I will talk to all of you later. Thank you so much for our live virtual studio audience that chimed in and also commented. Next time, you guys, let us know where you're tuning in from. And all of the shows that tuned in, like Linda, And also, Dr. Connie, drop your show in the comments below so that people can contact you, because they do have guest slots, sponsorships, just like I do. So make sure to patronize these amazing content creators and support them, and also see how you can be a guest on their upcoming shows, because they have some great shows. On that note, you guys have a great, amazing rest of your day. This has been Unscripted Conversations with Dr. T, and I will come back with another raw, relevant topic. When I see something that moves me, I'll come back and talk about it. Have a great, amazing rest of your day. Talk to you later. Bye. CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com. Have you heard about Book Authority's best new podcasting book winner, which is Dr. Tina J. Ramsey, for her book, The Power of Podcasting, Unlocking Tips and Strategies for Podcasting Success. This book is your podcasting coach in a book. She is sharing so many strategies. This book reached #1 twice on Amazon for new release and best-selling book. So go ahead to ctrmedianetwork.com to purchase your copy today, or simply place your order on amazon.com today and unleash the power of podcasting.
Well, you have any closing remarks before we head out?
Y'all, please support the movement of CTR Media Network. I'm telling you, being a part of this amazing media family, I can't go wrong, right? They have the support. They support us in all that we do. If we have questions, they take the time out to advise and mentor. So definitely check out the different plethora of shows that are on the network. I promise you, and I'm not saying this because I'm part of the family, but I promise you, you will be uplifted, inspired, educated, motivated, all the good stuff that we all need to carry ourselves out through the day. So definitely go check it out, y'all.
Awesome. I definitely appreciate it.